let's go ahead and cook some nourishing and delicious meals on a budget today. One thing I love so much about caring for the home and getting to prepare meals for my family is that I get to tailor it to our family and the things that we like and we don't like. And I still get to go watch things online or read cookbooks or go to the library and get inspired over meals. I don't know if you get inspired over that, but I do personally. And it can be inspiring, and yet I don't have to use the exact same ingredients or the exact same recipe that these people are using. I can use what I have at home that is in my budget and in my family's like nutritional needs to make something similar that is what my family needs and delicious. And I love this about stewarding the home is that we get to be creative and we have all these ingredients we can pull from and make something delicious, and it does not have to be expensive and it does not have to cost you thousands of dollars every month at the grocery store. I am a firm believer of that. I have been very excited to make some cinnamon rolls because we just got a grain mill. We got the Nutri-Mill compact version, and it has been incredible. Amazing purchase for such a low price. I think it's the lowest priced grain mill on the market, and it's been wonderful for us. We are living off of my husband's income. So mostly I do some photography work, but we're mostly living off of his income. So I really want to optimize everything and not spend money frivolously. But we did feel like a grain mill was an important thing to do. But getting one that was more affordable was high on the priority list for us, even though it may not be the most, aesthetically pleasing grain mill. It does the job just fine. And I went ahead and ground up some hard red wheat and hard white wheat for these cinnamon rolls, and they were so good, like incredible. I wasn't sure how a whole grain sourdough cinnamon roll would be, but this was absolutely delicious. I would highly recommend making these for Christmas for your family. You could start them Christmas Eve or probably even 2 days before, and they would be just fine. You could also make them now, stick them in the freezer, and then stick them in the oven on Christmas morning, and your family will thank you times a million, because nothing is better than a warm, gooey, buttery cinnamon roll on Christmas morning right as you're about to open up your gifts. So I would highly recommend. This is Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone's sourdough cinnamon roll recipe, and it was divine. So today, really, I just want to talk about what I like to cook in my home for my family when we are on a budget. I have been spending over the last year or so way more on groceries than I would like to. And that is because I was pregnant and very sick and couldn't eat a whole lot. And also because I was breastfeeding and have a baby who is now eating. So this month I decided to kind of rein things in, cook extra simple, and bring my grocery bill down to about $450 for this month. So we are eating very, very simple nowadays. This means lots of bone broth, lots of things that have been saved from summertime from the garden, and lots of root vegetables, some tougher cuts of meat, making things homemade. I made some homemade ricotta that you'll see here. This pasta recipe was just leftovers. I had pasta and some bone broth in the fridge, some leftover meat ground up. I think that was venison. I had some ricotta that I made and some tomatoes in the freezer. So I just kind of threw together this bowl of pasta. It looks maybe not the best or very unassuming. It was absolutely delicious. I also put some frozen basil in there. My husband was like, "This is incredible. This is one of the best pasta meals ever." It was so good. And then I just did some ribbons of carrots with olive oil, apple cider vinegar, maple syrup, salt, pepper, and lemon. And there you have it. Very simple dinner, very affordable. These are the kinds of meals that we're doing in our home right now because I do really want to save money. We're looking to get a house in the future. We want to put our money towards other areas, but I also don't want to compromise on the quality of food that we're eating. So these are the types of meals that I like to build around our other goals in life, and it works really well. We are eating really high quality meat, really yummy, delicious, high quality vegetables and dairy as well, without totally breaking the bank. And this month it's been great. Honestly, it's been wonderful. Now, I don't know where you're located, but for us, it's very easy to get local eggs in the summertime, but in the wintertime, it's rather difficult. So I have purchased a few eggs from Costco, but one of my friends just offered to start selling me her eggs, which I'm so grateful for. But we generally eat eggs every morning, and I kind of wanted to, 2 eggs for me is not enough. I'm still hungry afterwards. It's not enough protein, not enough fat. So I started adding yogurt in regularly. I was making yogurt homemade, but I found this delicious A2 yogurt from Costco. So good. And we had some leftover cinnamon rolls. It looks a little crunchy there, but it was so good and chewy and delicious. And then we are doing Friday night pizza nights. This is a tradition we want to start with our daughter, and we love pesto pizza. And I had some leftover pot roast, and I made a pot roast pesto pizza. It was the best pizza we have made. All of these meals, for some reason, when I was filming, just turned out incredible. Here we have a 100% wholemeal loaf of sourdough. This turned out great as well, except guess what I did? Like a silly goose, I totally forgot the salt, and I can't believe I did that. It makes for a horrible loaf of bread, but we've just been salting it extra, and you know what? It is what it is. So if you're like me and you're like, how the heck has my grocery bill gone up so much over the last couple of years? You're not alone. It's not just you. It's also me and the rest of the world probably. Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of friends, and they've also been telling me the very same thing that they are spending so much more on their groceries than they used to. Also, how funny is this? I put my sweatshirt on inside out when I got up from nursing my daughter to sleep for her nap. And I walked around like this for a really long time without knowing. And I also have these really hideous blue light blocking glasses that my husband does not like. They looked cute online, and then I got them in and they are not very cute. So I got to get a new pair. But anywho, you are not alone with your grocery budget going up, and I wanted to show you some of the meals that I love to make that really allow us to stay on a budget, and they're kind of some staples for us in our kitchen. And I like to be creative. I do like to switch things up, but I do love to have granola all the time. It's perfect on yogurt, perfect with some milk and berries, or just alone. It's just delicious. And this was one of the best batches of granola I have ever made. I stopped adding cocoa in my granola a little while ago, maybe like a year ago, and I just added it back in for this batch, and it was so good. The cocoa just makes it caramelized and delicious in a way that I cannot describe. I don't even know. But my husband was like, this is the best granola you have ever made. So I would highly recommend adding cocoa into your granola. So easy. This is a staple that you should keep in your house, and great nutrients with the nuts and the seeds in there too. Sourdough is such a great staple to keep in the house, because if you're using ancient grains or if you're fresh milling your own wheat berries, there's so much more nutrients in the bread. White flour from the grocery store does not have a ton of nutrients. So this makes me feel better about feeding this to my family, especially with really good butter. It's delicious. And it's so cozy, so warm, and so yummy on a winter day. It is just the absolute best. Well, thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time.